We've reached a point in America where Donald Trump has completely normalized immorality. And this has nothing to do with party. This is about basic ethics. And all Americans, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, need to recognize that there are some basic principles of right and wrong that are under attack. We're just half a year into this second term, and they've really been flooding the zone. The onslaught of all of these stories makes it impossible for most of us to put it all in perspective to where we were 10 years ago at the dawn of the Trump era. Imagine the shock that the 2015 version of you would have felt if somebody traveled back in time and told you, in 2025, senators will confirm Donald Trump's personal defense lawyer. By the way, he needed this defense lawyer after he stole and hid boxes of classified documents and after he tried to violently overthrow a presidential election. That they confirmed that guy to a lifetime appointment as a federal judge. When it comes to MAGA's unethical behavior, too many of us have become the proverbial frog slowly boiling in the pot. NASA had a terrible space shuttle accident in 1986 that we all remember when Challenger exploded. And that tragedy happened because NASA allowed problems with the shuttle's booster rockets to become normalized. The way that MAGA works today reminds me a lot of a book that came out of that Challenger accident called The Normalization of Deviance by Diane Vaughn. And she makes the point that it's really dangerous when an organization slowly allows deviance or bad behavior to become normalized. In spaceflight, you end up blowing up rockets and killing astronauts. In politics, it takes you down the fascist path. And this is happening today. Too many of us accept Trump's unethical behavior as just Trump being Trump.
This was locker room talk.
And today, we see the whole cohort of MAGA minions copying their dear leader. Just watch Pete Hegseth disrespecting senators.
Senator, I'd be careful what you read in books and believing it, except for the Bible.
So say it. So say it. Yes or no?
I'd like to.
Please. Yes or no?
As I've said time and time again through interruption.
Or Kristi Noem showing off her fashion in a foreign gulag where she had illegally sent prisoners. Or Tulsi Gabbard lying about the 2016 election.
They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people.
You know, this isn't about policy. This is about how moral depravity has become cool in MAGA land. John Oliver dug up this quote. Just listen to Trump saying that bribery should be allowed in business.
Every other country in the world is doing it. We're not allowed to. So it puts us at a huge disadvantage.
No. Bribery should not be allowed in American business. I started my career at the Air Force Academy, and we had an honor code there. It was simple. Don't lie, cheat, or steal, and don't tolerate those who do. But just think of how Trump has completely normalized lying, cheating, and stealing. And MAGA tolerates it all. That is profoundly damaging to the foundation of our society. Imagine that we could actually trust our institutions if our leaders were guided by that kind of honor code. And as a senator, I will work to bring this simple culture to Washington. Because when our leaders lose their ethical compass and we have no honor code, it's regular people who pay the price. Look at how many people lost their lives in Iraq after our political leaders built a case for war on a foundation of lies. I want to give Republican Josh Hawley some credit. He actually introduced a bill in the Senate the other day to ban members of Congress and the president and the vice president from trading stocks. I think that's a great idea. I'd support that. And I wasn't surprised in the least when Trump lashed out at him and called him a second-tier senator. As Trump sends his sons around the world doing multi-billion-dollar deals to enrich his family in Vietnam, in Serbia, all across the Middle East, he's trading favorable tariff deals and arms sales for money for his family. It's quid pro quo. It's conflict of interest 101. It is wrong, and Trump says it's okay. We need to get money, especially corporate super PAC money, out of politics. We need some guardrails around crypto. If you haven't noticed, crypto is the front door for corruption in Trump's second term. His family is making millions, if not billions, from crypto, especially that lame Trump meme coin, where anyone in the world can send him unlimited money anonymously to the president of the United States. It is outrageous. We need to tighten restrictions on foreign gifts. The Constitution already does, but Congress needs to step that up. Like this giant 747 that Qatar gave Trump that's going to cost taxpayers $1 billion to upgrade. We need to have a new code of ethics for the Supreme Court, implemented by an independent body because they have shown that they can't police themselves. We need to demand accountability for crimes that Doge may have committed, and most importantly, for understanding what they did with all of that data that they stole. We need federal legislation that would ban the kind of partisan gerrymandering we're seeing right now here in Texas as they try to steal next year's midterm elections. Donald Trump has given people the permission to bend and break the limits, to bully people because they think that they can. Look, normalized immorality is at the heart of MAGA. Our founding fathers knew that dangerous men like Trump would one day show up, and they set up a system to keep people like that in check. But that system requires recognizing basic ethics. It requires calling right right and wrong wrong. Our country depends on it, and Texas depends on it.